here what the information we got today was like something where he's experiencing, while he's living, um, and I think so he's considering to move. I don't know. Okay,
I love California.
I'm just kidding. So in this video, we are going to talk about cost of living is not the only reason Californians are moving to Florida. So this is not just my opinion, but I've talked to a couple of my friends in conference. I'm going to share their opinions too. At the same time, I have my friend. I'm visiting him, so he's going to tell his opinion. As a Californian, because he has been living here since last 12 years, and he has visited multiple areas of California. He has swallowed California, I would say, because he knows every piece of things, what's happening, and very up to date with the current matters. So we are going to discuss with him that what are the reasons like why the Californians are moving from California to other states like Texas or Florida or Idaho. So let's talk.
You got me acting out. Oh, tenderness is out the window. What you do to me when the cold bites blue is straight cool.
Living in California is definitely fun. There is no second opinion to that, because whenever I visit California, it stills my heart. It has so many advantages of living, even the location wise. You can do skiing, you can hike, you can go on beach. Everything is so close by, and it's very unique location. Unique state where you can do almost every single thing what you can imagine to do fun activities that you would find in California. But still, so many Californians are moving to different states. So I'm from Florida. I live in Florida since last more than a decade, and I'm a local real estate agent there. I helped so many people who are relocating to Florida. One of the biggest ratio what we saw in COVID time, especially in pandemic time, is so many Californians are moving to Florida. And that's what we are discussing in this video. Even though this state is so beautiful, offering so many things, but still we saw very high amount of ratio of Californians moving to different states. One of the major reasons everybody talks about is the cost of living. California is so expensive that every single thing, like I'm visiting here since last, I guess, a week, 4 days. Since 4 days I'm here. Even eating in a restaurant, one simple sandwich will cost you easily $10. And if you go in a full-blown restaurant, for one person, you're going to easily spend $25 to $30, which is, I find it's a little bit more expensive. Like one dish, like I ordered one day, like a taco something in Venice Beach that was like so small, just one piece of taco that was around $15. I have ever tried this much expensive. I think that's the most expensive taco I ever had. And I wish there was a little bit more taste to it. Anyways, that's a different story. But like talking about the cost of living, that's number one thing everybody talks about and everyone knows about it. Whoever even visited here in California, then still the cost of living is something you will see everywhere. It's just everywhere, like a food. You go even buy milk. That also is really expensive than I found in Florida. So here's a Californian resident, and we are going to talk to him specifically about things which we are not seeing as an outsider, but as a Californian, what they're experiencing and what's his opinion. So we had a very good, strong conversation, and that's what I thought to record this video. So let's start. Of course, you have very beautiful state here and so many things you can do, and definitely the Californian weather, things to do here is so awesome that always steals our heart when I especially personally me, when I visit California, it's a different feel. But still, I see that trend happening in 2020, 2021. So many Californians are moving to some other states, like Florida, Texas, Idaho, so many different states they are moving. Mm-hmm. What is your opinion? What are the things people are not liking here, even though they have this state is offering so many things?
So there is always a mixed group of people, so some they make a decision, but some of the things I can mention very easily is, so I live in Orange County, it's been 8+ years here for me. It's interesting because, I bought a condo a few years back. Now, of course, the house values have gone up, although, and I'm not right at the beach, I'm quite inland, but not as much not that I get ocean breeze as well, but the amount of price increase that has happened, I was always thinking that I want to move from condo to somewhere I can have maybe a backyard, where, I can have a big dog, and, at least I can do some planting or something around. But the way the price increase has happened, even the people leaving, it's ridiculous, and it's one of the things would make me think, because some of the videos that I've seen that you have posted on your channels makes me think, if I sell my condo with even the gain that I've made, I can put hefty down there and I can have something that I want. So that would be the one reason, and I'm sure there are a lot of people thinking the same way. That how am I thinking?
Other than cost of living, as a Californian, what you think are or could be the reasons people get bothered?
So to answer your question, there are a few things that I can easily think of. One of the things I can think of is, as California being the largest state, sometimes, I feel that there are a lot of mandates happens here that are not the same in a lot of other states. And I feel that a lot of it sometimes makes people think twice if they're purchasing homes or making this as their permanent home, because at the end of the day, you want to live to a certain standard. At the same time, you want to have certain affordability. At the same time, you want a certain access. So in combination of things, there are things in California and government mandates a lot of other states don't have. So when you think of that, it makes me feel that maybe there are other options as viable as here, may not be as perfect as here, but maybe it's to some extent is better, but it gives me more freedom at the same time.
Now talking about the real estate things, oh my God, forget it. The prices here are damn expensive, and to have own something here, you definitely have to have average to higher salary to have to own a single family house. And if you're earning just one person, it's so difficult to own a house here. So that's why many Californians, if you see, they are more in a rental versus owning a house. In Florida, we found that as a huge difference. You will see a lot of people who move to Florida, within a year they buy a house because it's less expensive to buy than even rent in Florida. So you do get to have a lot of possibility of owning beautiful house, owning your own property, and plus the investment property, and managing investment property also very, very easy there. Here in California, I figure out there's so many different rules you have to follow to have an investment property. And managing, oh my god, you can't even evict someone who is not paying your rent. I guess what I hear is in a year, like it runs, the eviction process runs almost a year. In Florida, you have to give just 3 days notice and you can evict people right away. So, except the COVID time, of course, there was the rules everywhere. You cannot evict, easily. But in general, Florida rules are so damn easy for investors. So many people who are out of country, out of states, they are investing in Florida just because of the easy management too.
You
So
know,
can you explain what are the recent mandates, anything which you can think of, which kind of
no, I mean in general, right? I can think of some of the taxation on just the gas prices, right? And what the reason is that California requires some standard of the gas, and even the cars, some of them that are sold in California. Say for an example, there are cars. If you might have an older car that you have, say in Florida, 1960s. I'm pretty sure that it won't pass smoke test here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so in that case, I have a reason to either sell it and things like that, and people equally worried about environment. But if my commute is 5 miles and if I want to drive 1960s car, I have to do things, to upgrade or maybe change something to be able to drive in California. But in some of the other states, there are no such mandates when it comes to environmental. I understand from the environmental standpoint, but maybe I'm not driving as much. Somebody has a nice truck, but drives 60 miles to get to work. I might have older car, but I'm going only 5 miles to work. Then why not that is in the consideration? So that's one of the thing I would say.
I just recently heard in my conference that about the vaccination also they're getting like so strict. That's also called like it's kind of like
I guess-
it's a diplomatic subject, but it just as an opinion of someone else, like it was bothering them.
I don't have kids, but those who have kids, as a parent, they would have to make the choice to send school their kids to the school, and now California mandates to have vaccination for even kids who are eligible. So these are the things, and again, in comparison, not that one is mandating, and so as the one is mandating, the other ones are not. There are other guidelines and everything's there, but California is always some of the things that they mandate makes people think twice for their long term to live, because there are things today, maybe things will change for maybe good for worse.
Lightning strikes by my window, hits my chest right in the morning, like a warning. Could have slept here for days. I felt your heartbeat, felt your mouth breathe, but it's not real. We were close to see.
One more thing I have a question about the taxes, because that's one of the huge things when somebody is self-employed or they have a small business. How would they survive with this high tax? I feel like that's one of the biggest motivation when people I helped in a relocation. Many people are even self-employed. What's your opinion to that, and what do you feel about it?
No, that's a good question, because there's some of the things I think that it's tricky here compared to some of the other probably similar offering places in terms of weather and the living in general, in terms of weather and all that. But I feel that there are some areas in California, I would say lots of areas, especially if you're by the coastline, anywhere, Northern California, Southern California. I've spent 4.5 years up in Bay Area too. And it seems that there are neighborhoods, there are communities that if you want to live, you have to have hefty salaries, not for just one person, for both, or maybe more than two, if it's a big family. And that's one of the things worries me, long run. If there are circumstances at times, if you run into, say, only one person has to earn money for time being, and there are areas that if you lived in California, it's probably expensive. Well, it's expensive in general, but then you have to think that whether or not you can live or retain the lifestyle that you had while both people earning it. So that could be one of the thing that I would say people consider. And why not, right? Because not always you want to have that dependency on both incomes. In general, California is one of the top states, I guess, in general. Maybe if you put it in top five in terms of any of the taxes, sales tax, income tax, and all that. So people do consider that where is your dollar more valued? If you earn 10%, 15% less somewhere else compared to here, but at the same time, if your dollar value is much more somewhere else, then you want to consider that. But there are things that I enjoy here. I'm sure that some of the other parts of the country that I can enjoy as well.
So thank you, Subal. He
Course.
gave a lot of good information being a Californian, because when I make a video, of course I need to research things, but I'm not a resident of California, so that could be my just general opinion from internet and the research what I do. But here, what the information we got today was like something where he's experiencing, while he's living, um, and I think so he's considering to move. I don't know. Okay,
I love California.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, he definitely loved California and his work. And yes, there's a lot of possibilities of work here, and there's nothing against California. But definitely, we saw a trend happening in pandemic. So many Californians moved, and that's one of the reason I'm making this video. So if you are kind of thinking about it, or if you want to know more about other states, one of them is I make the video about is Florida. Let me know, and check out my other videos where I talk about the pros and cons of living in Florida. Of course, every state has its own pros and cons. Every city, every neighborhood has their own pros and cons. Nothing is perfect, and that's what we discuss in this channel, like black and white things. Like even for Florida, there are so many flaws. But yeah, but this is, I guess, in a pandemic time, this is the major trend where people started working virtually. That's also motivated them to save some cost in living if they can, and that's why they chose not only just Florida but also some other low tax states where they can enjoy the similar lifestyle, not exact lifestyle but at least similar lifestyle, and still try to save some dollars in their bank accounts and have a little better lifestyle for their kids for a long run. Thank you guys for watching this, and I will see you in my next video.